Thank you so much for joining us here at Star Chefs.
Thank you. I live only a couple of blocks away.
It's not far away, that's true.
This year I think it was important, and I'm supporting Star Chef. And I think it's very important for every chef to support Star Chef, because the more we support it, the more credibility we will have internationally, and I think we will attract also better chefs to come and speak.
There are some very good chefs here already.
The turnover this year is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on the theme of responsibility, you certainly are one of the chefs who is right out front. You've written a wonderful book, Letters to a Young Chef, about mentoring. We saw Gavin Kaysen take the James Beard Award for Rising Chef.
Very much.
Could you speak a little bit to us about your role, your passion about mentoring young cooks?
Well, I think I was well mentored myself, and I think the biggest motivation I have is those young chefs. Those young chefs bring me an amazing drive, and I think it's important to make them better, make them more responsible. Of course, from very young, we teach them first how to cook and be very responsible cooking, but also understand creativity, understand consistency, understand precision, understand the subtlety of cooking, and sometimes understand tradition as well. Part of mentoring, I think, is to be able to transfer what you have learned to someone else, plus everything you have developed yourself, plus everything you are interested and passionate about. And I think transferring that to a younger chef so he can be himself, inspire, have a good sort of background to start, and start to develop himself, his own direction, and I guess his own career.
Right. I mean, it's the way you said it. You could have been speaking about your children. You know, really trying to inspire them and inform them.
It's also at every level. I mean, we get those very young kids out of school, and I think we have to do the chef de partie is almost responsible to train those young kids very well. The sous chef is responsible to train the chef de partie very well. The chef de cuisine is very responsible to train his sous chef very well as well. So, and I'm responsible to make sure that my chef train everybody in the chain of command very well. So this way, I think there is a coordination of training, and there is also, I think, a responsibility spread from the top to the bottom.
Right.
I think it's very important. Part of the training in the brigade is then, as a chef owner, I cannot just train every cook.
Right.
But with my team, we're going to train everyone.
Right.
And everyone's going to get trained in the process.
And as a result, you've really had just a wonderful pool of talent. And you've been, for example, yes. I remember a long time ago worked with a chef who went through your kitchens, who is now executive chef down at Balthazar, Riyad Nasser. I mean,
Riyad and Lee.
Riyad and Lee. These are some of the many chefs that you
Even
had.
like today, I saw a young chef who worked 5 years with me at the opening of Daniel, and for 5 years, and now he has a restaurant in Caracas called Café Atlantico, Laurent, and we have stayed friends since the minute we worked together. But he had a good background. He worked with Guy Savoy, he worked with great chef, and 5 years with me, he never forgot it. But he also made an amazing friendship with the people working in that kitchen at the time. And I think, beside the fact that every day we go to work and make sure that we do our job the best way and with passion and care and devotion. There is a lot of fun into it as well. I mean, there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of fun. And I think at the end, when a chef leaves a place like mine, I think he remember the pressure, but he remember the fun too. And I think he remember what has given him confidence to do something for himself.
Right. So really it's the responsibility of raising people up in your kitchens, and even though there's a lot of discipline, keeping it an environment where people are actually enjoying themselves.
Very much. And I think I never knew that I was going to open up to 10 restaurants and all that, but I feel that the part of mentoring is part of keeping people as well, and keeping them motivated, happy. And the time is very short between a very good sous chef to a chef de cuisine. And so the window of couple of years you say, well, I'm going to lose him because he's getting mature to be a chef. And if you have an opportunity for him to become a chef in your group, is in under this umbrella of security support, where we give them an amazing HR department, I mean human resource management. We sort of surround them with support in order for them to be their best. And I think that's very important. And that has changed in my time. That wasn't happening. There wasn't chef with restaurant group where you could take they could have taken me and say, I want you to run this restaurant and we're going to do everything for you to be your best at it.
Right. So it's a change. It's really a change over time.
It's a change, and that's why then, a lot of young chefs want to open their own business, but sometimes it's also good for a young chef to be part of a bigger group where as they grow into it, it's like a lawyer. You start as a very young lawyer, or you start as a clerk, what they call a mail boy in a firm, and you finish as
the top, as
the president, as a partner.
Fantastic.
So I think today, there's a little bit of that into the chef future, and I think it's good. And I want to be able to nurture more young talent and be able to give more opportunity to them and be able to share it more with me.
It must be a great satisfaction for you.
Well, it's all work, but we love it.
So just switching gears a moment, you grew up in Lyon,
yes.
which to those who know is really the culinary capital of France.
I think it was, and I think it could still be.
It could still be.
But at the same time today, I think everywhere around the world, everyone claimed itself to be a little
the culinary capital. Well, the question I want to get to is, growing up outside of Lyon, working with your family, you at an early age were selling the products of your family in the markets.
Yeah, I was very lucky to be born on the farm, and today we talk about sustainability, we talk about organic, we talk about supporting the farmers, and it's so important. I mean, for me, when my father was a farmer, we didn't have the restaurant supporting us. We had the people. They were going to the farmers market, and every local people will not go to a supermarket. They will go to a farmers market to buy all their food. So it was very good to us. But and we never really care about selling to restaurants. Mm-hmm. But I think today, for a farmer to be able to succeed and grow to do better things and to be more consistent and to have a little bit more support, I think also to be able to supply restaurants, I think it's wonderful, and we do a lot to help them. We do everything we can to help them.
So you're taking the bounty of the region and for your cuisine.
And at the same time, I wish I could have a farm, but not every chef can just accomplish that. I mean, Dan Barber has done an amazing thing. He also had the opportunity to have an amazing location to do it.
Yes.
So in a way, it takes always a partner in life to be able to sometimes accomplish dreams. And I think he found the right partners. It's not to every chef to do that. Of course, if Daniel was in the middle of Connecticut or New Jersey or Long Island.
As a Connecticut resident, I wish you were in the middle of Connecticut.
I know, but then I would have maybe my little farm around me.
Right.
But that's not the case. They don't let me grow leeks and potatoes and tomatoes on top Avenue.
On the roof of the old Mayfair Hotel.
Yeah. And I think coming back to sustainability and farmers and for us, chef, I think the biggest challenge and yet the most energy we spend on is trying to track down the traceability of our ingredients, because the best food come with best ingredient, and that's why with the farmer we know that there is one-on-one, there is no middleman in between, and that's already for us is like, it don't matter if the choice is not wide, we'll take everything, we'll do more with less than rather have too much, and I think it's what is better and better today. Even if the farmers is in Oregon, as long as we have direct access to them and talk to them directly and they can ship, it's also working. It's
a little bit like the wines of Burgundy. Once you find a good producer, you just order from that producer, right?
Except you can't really store it and drink it 10 years later.
No, that's true. So I wanted to ask you, in terms of, and this is more of a fun question, we'll move away from responsibility for a moment. In terms of your opening, again, have you opened already the new restaurant, newly decorated at Daniel?
Yes.
It is open?
Yes.
I should be up on my research.
No, fine. We opened Monday.
But it's very recent, it's recent.
Exactly, we have not even done a week full yet.
So we know that the decor has changed a little bit. Is anything about the kitchen or any stylistic difference to the food going to occur now?
The kitchen, the kitchen, we redid the whole kitchen as well.
Okay.
We redid all the stations everywhere, and we didn't change the stove because the stove is a Bonnet and the other one is a Molteni, so they should last 20, 25 years. Mm-hmm. But Daniel was 10 years old, and I felt then, did I want to wait for the other milestone of maybe 15 anniversary to do it, or 20? Mm-hmm. No, I felt like, it's 10 years old. I've been so blessed to be successful, to be good at what I did. I just want to reward myself. I want to reward my staff. I want to reward my customer. Let's take a chance. Mm-hmm. Now, is it freaky, scary? Maybe, but at the same time, I own also the real estate there. I was very fortunate to be able to buy that when I created Daniel there.
Oh, fantastic.
And so if I didn't have that, I don't think I would have done it. And I feel that, some chefs build themselves a little chateau home, and with the money they make, I just put it back in the restaurant. So how much can I be blamed?
So everyone must be terribly happy with this.
Yeah, but at the same time, the food over the 10 years kept evolving. Everything kept evolving. Our performance in service, our performance in food, in the quality of our brigade, the quality of our service. The quality of the creativity, the complexity of the food evolve and all that. And I felt, and I just wanted to keep that motivation going, and by also taking importance. After all, restaurants are a little theatrical as well.
Sure.
And you can have the greatest food in the world. If the restaurant is getting a little tired, if the place is getting a little cruising a little bit, I think it's not always the same feeling as if everything is still crisp and fresh, great energy, and you feel it everywhere.
So it's a responsibility to your staff, to yourself, to your customers to seek a little bit of renovation.
And I think we're in New York City, and I think New York, we can, in France, I see my colleague restaurateurs who have sometimes not, they're not in New York City, they can be in the middle of nowhere. Person like, sorry, 1 second.
Please.
I remember people like Michel Guérard, or I work for, or many restaurateurs in France, they always kept upgrading their house. I think it was very important. The kitchen, the food, the setting, the experience in the front, the experience in the back for the chefs as well. Yeah. And I think we keep doing that. And so did I do it a little bit early? Maybe, but that was better than too late.
Than too late, exactly. Well, I'm sure it's going to be beautiful.
It's quite nice. It's a big challenge. And already all our very faithful customers came back and love it. So
and they're happy. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, then
so if there is 2% or 5% of them who don't like it, it's not going to make me so unhappy.
Right, exactly.